Alina had lived in her small, quiet house for as long as she could remember. It wasn't fancy, but it was peaceful, except for the mirror. The mirror had always been there, hanging on the wall opposite her bed, framed in dark wood carved with twisting vines and strange flowers. Her mother said it was antique, and a family heirloom. To Alina, it felt like an unwanted visitor who never blinked.
Studio microphone narrator. The air inside was thick, smelling of dust and forgotten memories. Moonlight slipped through the cracks, painting pale lines on the wooden floor. Evan's flashlight flickered as he stepped deeper into the hallway. And there, on the wall, hung a huge portrait of a family, a woman with hollow eyes, a man with a frozen smile, and a little girl, holding a black doll. Studio microphone Evan, whispering they don't look happy. The girl in the portrait seemed to stare right at him. Her eyes almost moved. Then, the lights went out. Something whispered close to his ear. "Do you want to play?" Evan spun around, but no one was there. The sound of tiny footsteps echoed down the hall that he followed them, deeper and deeper, until he reached a locked door at the end of the corridor. Scratched into the wood were the words. Studio microphone narrator. Evan couldn't help himself. He tried the door. Locked, he searched around and found a rusted key on the floor, half buried in dust. It fit perfectly. Yes, the door creaked open. The cold hit him like a wave. Inside, the walls were covered with drawings. Dozens of them. Crude sketches of a little girl. The same one from the portrait, but in each drawing, her eyes were gone, scratched out with something sharp. In the center of the room was a small wooden chair, and on it sat the black doll. Studio microphone Evan. Uneasy, "Who left you here?" He reached out and touched the doll. Its head turned by itself. "She's still here," it whispered. Evan dropped it and ran out, but the hallway had changed. It stretched longer than before. The doors were gone. The house had shifted. Studio microphone narrator. Evan's heart pounded as the walls began to whisper. Dozens of voices. Men, women, children. "Help us. She won't let us leave. Don't listen to her." He covered his ears, but the whispers crawled inside his head. Then he saw her, the little girl from the drawings, standing at the far end of the hall, holding her doll. Studio microphone girl, soft, eerie. "Why did you open the door?" Evan stumbled back. I didn't mean to." The girl tilted her head. Now her eyes were black holes, endless and hollow. Studio microphone girl, angry she was sleeping. And now she's awake. Suddenly the floor cracked open and shadows spilled out, cold, writhing shapes whispering his name. He ran through twisting halls and broken rooms until he found the front door. But when he opened it, there was nothing outside in O Street. No night sky, just the same house again.
Studio microphone narrator. Evan realized the truth. The house wasn't just haunted, that it was alive. He went back to the room with the doll. This time, he looked closer. There was something sewn into its back. A small keyhole. He searched the drawers and found a tiny silver key, shaped like a teardrop. When he turned it, the doll's chest opened, revealing a rolled-up note that it read. "To whoever finds this, the girl isn't real. She's the house that don't look into her eyes." Evan froze. Behind him, a voice whispered, "Too late." He turned and saw her standing right behind him. Her doll hung limply in her hand, its head tilted. The walls trembled, dust falling from the ceiling. Studio microphone girl, smiling, "Now you'll stay with us, forever."
They raced back as the temple began collapsing. Rocks fell, trees trembled, and thunder cracked across the sky. Reaching the shore, they pushed their boat into the water. Zoya held the glowing orb high. "Now," Arif shouted. She dropped it into the sea, and instantly the water turned silver. The fog lifted, the island shimmered, then began to vanish, piece by piece, into the waves as they drifted away. Arif saw Kalem's figure fading with a peaceful smile. The ocean was calm again. When they reached home, no one believed their story, until Arif showed the empty bottle and the half map, now turned to dust. But one thing remained, a tiny shell, glowing faintly with silver light. Zoya smiled. Proof enough for me. They looked out at the S.E.T. was calm, quiet, as if it had told its story and gone back to sleep. And from that day on, whenever the tide whispered, Ariv and Zoya listened carefully, because the ocean always had another secret to tell. Desert Island moral. Courage and friendship can uncover even the deepest mysteries, but only those who listen to the whispers of the world will truly understand its secrets. Rumor said he kept a secret file, evidence that could expose powerful people. But the file was never found. When Clara returned home that night, she noticed something odd, a faint, rhythmic tapping behind the wall near her study desk. She removed a loose panel and found a rusted metal box wrapped in an old cloth. Inside, a notebook, a recorder, and photographs of uniformed men shaking hands with criminals. Her heart pounded. The knocking, it wasn't random. It was a code. Clara replayed the recorder. IT clicked, hissed, then a man's trembling voice spoke. If you're hearing this, they found me. The knocks, 3 short, 1 long. It means they're close. Don't trust anyone. The sound of heavy breathing followed, then silence.
Suddenly, a car engine roared outside. Headlights flashed through her window. Someone was there. She grabbed the notebook and ran out the back door into the cold rain. Behind her, she heard again, not from the door but from her phone, that a message point 3 dots appeared. Then the words, "You shouldn't have opened the wall." The next morning, number 12 stood silent. The police arrived after receiving an anonymous call about a break-in, but Clara Bennett was gone. Only the recorder was left on her desk, still playing. Knock, 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 knock.